So good morning. Hope you're all having a great start to your day. Today's Wednesday, July 14th, 2021. We're going to go ahead and get started, touch up on the overall market, go over some economic data, and get right into our main watch list. All right. So hope you guys are starting your day right. Currently watching /ES, just seeing the 43.78. And if you did see actually the overnight session, we actually tested that 43.83. Came back down. Again, we did have a massive push yesterday on the market. CPI numbers did come out. And when the CPI numbers came out, we actually did recover we did actually recover back to the highs. So that was good to see. Again, CPI numbers, not the best, but we did actually see the uptrend back intact. And we're actually watching the European sessions as well. Some slight weakness in the European sessions. If you guys were watching, again, they're consolidating right now. And the Asian indices actually closed on the downside. So watching into this morning, we're getting some, again, uncertainty. Usually when Powell speaks, there's some uncertainty on the broad market. So it's nothing new that we haven't seen before. Now, if you're watching 4,200, if you're watching ES right now, 43.75, very, very critical on /ES. I want to see if we can hold 43.75 right now. We're actually two handles and a half in the pre-market sessions over that range. And really critical to see if we can close 43.75. We'll rally back and revisit that 43.83 and potentially start taking out the new all-time high again. But we have to wait till Powell speaks. Directional moves will be after Powell speaks. Again, they can build us all the way till that all-time high and then start rejecting from there. We've been seeing that before, but just understand that we do have some supply over that 43.75. So right now, again, two handles over that range, looking real nice. Again, uptrend will be back intact if we can close over that 5 handle. Again, support, not biased on the market. Again, if we start breaking under 43.75, start watching 43.70 and under that, the pullback gets a little bit steep to 43.50. All right, so 43.50, again, about 20 handles the moment you step under that 43.70. Really critical to close over 43.75. And right now we're at 43.77, right? And if we close over 43.75, we'll start pushing to a new all-time high. That's 10 handles over the 43.83.75. All right, so take your time on the market. Hopefully, again, we get more directional plays. Usually, cash is a position until Powell clears out the way. Again, it's going to happen today. Let me send you guys the economic calendar as well, so you guys have everything in front of you. And again, Beige Book is at 2 p.m. today. So take your time on the market. And then let's go into our watch list while I'm sending you guys the economic data. All right, there it is for you guys. And again, don't forget the link is attached. So if you want to click on it at 12 p.m., it's very easy to access through the Quant platform. You can click on the link and it's going to open right away. Again, it's a new update. Our team's been killing it. They actually just came out with this. So it's going to make your life a lot easier, especially when you're on the agenda. You can see the dividends laid out, earnings, Federal Reserve laid out by itself. Any initial public offerings released as well as dividends. So very, very clean layout again by our team. It's killing it. Now let's move into the watch list, get a little bit in depth. If you've been watching INTC, going to continue to watch this. It did present itself, but slow and steady. Again, if you've been watching this, it did have a nice accumulation, but the range I wanted to trade is still intact. All right, so let me just send this to you guys. 57.40 was never taken out to the upside. So really critical to watch for a directional move on this. Again, I'm loving the setup. It's still the same, still intact, but we haven't really broke out of 57.40 on INTC. We had a nice build if you played the bounce and support yesterday. Still same level intact, 56.50. You can see what happened. They actually bought it back up, 56.40. They just went about 2 cents under, took some stop losses at that range, and then bounced all the way back for almost a point and change. I was really looking for a directional move and a breakout of that 57.40 and was really focused on the bigger names. Again, if you were trading yesterday, we did have INTC on watch right at the open, and we also had Tesla. So again, didn't want to drain the watch list, but if you caught a momentum trade either or, if you caught the bounce on INTC, very cheap premiums at the money. I was watching contracts go, I think the 40, was it the 50C going for about, give or take, about 60 cents. I watched it move almost to 80 cents. So again, you can catch a really good move on this in the money, but INTC is a very, very slow mover. So I'm looking honestly for the gap fill. It's another trade that's added on watch, moving for the rest of the week. But we had this about 2 weeks and a half ago on watch, pushed all the way to the neckline and never really took it out. So not biased again, but I'm still watching 57.40, same level from yesterday. If we take it out, again, we had a move on Tesla yesterday, so that's why I was focused. But if we take out 57.40, we do have room to 58.50. And you can see I noted a gap fill all the way to 62. That's in a sense if we do get a push. If we don't, and remember we can always get all the way to 57.40 and reject. So very critical. We'll keep a watch on order flow. But that nice gap fill would be an easy high probability setup. And again, not risking much, especially when Powell's speaking. We love to play those nice high probability trades with also lower premiums. Now let's move a little bit more in depth. Again, INTC still added on watch. Want to talk about some high probability trades with a good catalyst. We know Beyond runs off of news, and especially momentum trades at the open can pay very nice for most of the Momo traders or scalp traders in the room. Now, if you are watching Beyond, they had some news, another piece of news, another catalyst released. Cooperation with Panda Express or deal coming out with Panda Express, also expanding Beyond Meat meatballs into Europe. Again, we've seen actually Beyond run on news like this prior. We've seen the collaboration, whether it was McDonald's when they were actually having some news with McDonald's in Canada, or the KFC news that was released for Beyond before. So not biased on Beyond, but if this can catch momentum with some news, we do have the piece of news rolled yesterday, and we do have some more into this morning. So very critical to take out 138.60 if you've noticed here. I know we're probably ranging already about a point away from there, but I need a directional play. I need to close over the neckline and yesterday's resistance. That would be preferably, right? If you see what happened yesterday was a mess. Never really closed over 138.55. It actually pushed about 40 cents and took everybody down on a spin for 2 points. Never really pushed, so I need would beyond a confirmation continuation setup. This is more of a Momo trade. If it sets up, we'll take it for sure, but not biased on this. We know it can push to 138.60, reject there. Then we'll start watching distribution back to 134.50. Under 134.50, we'll bring it to the floor to 133 and potentially 132.50. So take your time. Let me actually mute this for you guys. All right, so take your time on Beyond if it presents itself. Again, clean point and a half, not biased, but I would love to see the 138.55 or 138.65. Again, over that overhead resistance, a few cents. I want to see a nice confirmation continuation setup. Now, let's move into our last watch list, our last company on watch. Again, watching less is more sometimes, especially on days like today. If you're watching Tesla, let's talk about that 675 real quick, sending you guys the level, making sure you're getting it. I also want to touch up on the quick 200 mil plus in the dark pool print that was yesterday at the close. If you watch 401 at 456, look at the notional value, about $209 million, 313 in size, 313,000 in size at 668.54. And that's also, if you note on Tesla, that is the PDC, the previous day close. So we did have some slight orders into the close yesterday, keeping a watch on that. Now, we also had a golden sweep at 358. It's about 2.6 million. So flow is looking somewhat obvious on Tesla. We do have some good momentum. Again, nice dark pool print into the close. We have a golden sweep at 358, looking nice, about 2.5 mil plus. So take your time on Tesla, guys. You can see the move, 675 and 666. If we're going to take out 675, I'm looking for a quick scalp, 4-pointer. Not getting greedy with this. I'm taking this exactly to the price of support yesterday, or actually where it started failing its support. Again, 679. You can note it in the chart. If it actually breaks to the downside as well, we're not biased on this, but start taking moves under 666. I know it can bounce that 670. It's also a whole number, so take your time on 670. That's not where I'm looking for a bounce. I'm looking forward to 666. If it can bounce 666, that's a better trade. But if it has momentum at the open and takes out 675, I'll take a quick 4-pointer, and we'll watch it depending on obviously on the flow and the tape there, but we'll watch what happens at 675. Can potentially stay in for another after 679, stay in for another 5 points. So total 9 points. You don't need the whole trade, but you could take your time, 4 and 4, 4 and 5, depending on entry, or you could take half position after a 4-point move and wait for the other 5, leave a runner. Again, everybody has a different risk tolerance, but understand yourself, understand your risk tolerance. It's very, very critical. Especially on days when there's uncertainty, right? So take your time on the market. Again, things are looking real nice. We do have the Federal Reserve speaking today. So again, from 12 p.m. all the way, beige book is 2 p.m. and Federal Reserve selected interest rates 4.15. So it is a little draining. Definitely scalping some momentum at the open. And if we don't get anything first 5 minutes, they start slowing down again. Take your time. Second half of the day, let the charts develop, let the patterns come to us. And we'll take on a nice high probability setup rather than go chasing any momentum or chase any quick gap fill for INTC, for example. And it's, we've seen it before, get all the way to that range and reject. That's totally fine. Right now in the pre-market setup, we're looking real nice. and would love to see a bounce. Again, ideal entry is always at support, guys, especially on days like today, and especially a week like this specific week. So 57.50. Take your time on INTC 57.40 for resistance, and for support 56.50. It bounced that range yesterday. And you guys could see it did close over it and had a nice bounce for almost $8 or give or take 80 cents, right? So let's make some money. If you guys need me, DM me slow and steady, especially on markets like today. And focus on high probability setup, guys. All right, let's make some money, team in and out. Let's get it, guys.